Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. Wake up!
The movie will begin in 5 moments, the mindless voice announced. All those unseated will await the next show.
I want to talk about swan songs and fitting finales for a band. The 1971 album, L.A. Woman from the Doors, is perhaps at the top of the heap. I mean, to go out with a bang, as it were, is exactly what Jim Morrison would do with that record.
L.A. Woman, you know, I think a lot of people might consider that the Doors' masterpiece. Production-wise, it was probably the best album sounding. You could put that on your speakers and it just sounded huge. A lot more, you know, it seemed like the band was delving a lot more into the blues, and they had this sort of psychedelic experimental stuff going on before. It seemed like the blues was really coming out into the forefront.
I would say it's their Dark Side of the Moon. It's their Who's Next. It's their Rumors, if I may use all those as a term to express other groups' greatest achievements.
I think that this whole album, they have a bit more energy again. It's as if they're freed up again to get back to the early days.
I wanted to be a filmmaker, and I, being a musician, you know, I fought against that because that, you know, I wasn't into that.
There were a lot of things pulling on him at that time, like, you know, there was movie trips. You know, we had done some footage of our concerts, and we were making our own documentary, and then 3 or 4 other people were trying to get Jim to star in Hollywood kind of movies, and then there was the poetry thing, which Jim wanted to get into, and he wanted to make a poetry album, and all this was happening at the same time. Yet he was he was always into the music.
Changeling, great song. You know, it's a great record. That's probably the Doors record you can put on and listen to start to finish over and over again.
My favorite album, as I'm growing older and getting into rock music, I heard that Paul Rothschild didn't want to produce this because he thought it was too loungy. So the Doors and Bruce Botnick, the engineer, produced it themselves.
Perfect production. You felt like you were in L.A. when you put that song on.
Some people say the song is about L.A. itself. Other people say it's about the Doors' longtime publicist who is from Los Angeles. They think that Jim had dedicated this song to her, who was a secret love of his. Regardless of what the lyrical meaning of the song gets down to, I think that Robbie Krieger's performance in this song is one of his best.
Krieger, who I've spoken to, has said that the L.A. Woman track is the quintessential Doors song. They just went into the studio, came up with a riff, moved the thing down to G, and then he didn't know how Morrison came up with the lyrics, but he did. And it's such a great song, you know. On a sunny day, the top is down and you're driving with the radio cranked up, and L.A. Woman is just screaming out of the speakers. It's fantastic.
And then Morrison says a classic line, an anagram of his name. Jim Morrison, play with the letters, turn them around and move them around, and you come up with Mr. Mojo Rising.
Mr. Mojo Rising.
It was that quality of being stronger than everything around you and of climbing up out of that. You know, Mr. Mojo Rising, it's a brilliant image. And it comes from blues. I got my mojo working. Muddy Waters, Willie Dixon.
Mojo was a blues term for sexuality. And so I thought, well, what if I slowly increase the tempo, like an orgasm?
another lost angel. City at night, city at night, city at night, city at night. Woo! Oh! Filled with fire. If they say I never loved you, you know they are a liar. Driving down your freeway, midnight alleys roam, cops in cars, the topless bars, never saw a woman so alone, so alone, so alone, so alone. Motel money, glitter madness, but Jane moved from glad to sadness. Mr. Mojo rising, Mr. Mojo rising, Mr. Mojo rising, Mr. Mojo rising, got to keep on rising. Mr. Mojo
What happened at our contract with Electro was finished with that album, and we all wanted to take a break.
With L.A. Woman, he had nothing further that he had to do to satisfy anyone in terms of album production. And he thought that that would be a perfect opportunity to get away from Los Angeles.
He didn't go to get away from any enemies or any particular set of circumstances. He went more to escape his friends and his popularity. He could not walk down the street and be anonymous, even with the beard. He was constantly recognized and constantly confronted, and there'd always be a trace. If he walked long enough along Sunset Boulevard, no matter what stage of his career you chose, there would be a throng of girls following him down Sunset Boulevard. And I think that pressure contributed a lot to his move to a foreign country. But strangely enough, he was almost as famous in Paris as he was Los Angeles, and he really couldn't get away from being Jim Morrison, rock star singer of the Doors.
Hey boss, there ain't much time, is there? No. We ain't got long to go, no.
After Jimmy and Janice died, he got a lot of mail saying, God, please be careful, Jimmy and Janice, and please be careful, we care so much about you, and he laughed it off, you know, and then he went around town going, you know, first Janice, now Jimmy, you're drinking with number 3.
We'd rehearse every once in a while, maybe get together 2 times a week, working on some songs and stuff, and just waiting for Jim to come back, man. But as we all know, Jim Morrison never came back from Paris.
I don't think he was just the pressures of fortune and fame. He was just meant to pack it all into 27 years, you know. Just make a big impact and goodbye.
He packed 50 years of living into 4 or 5 years of performing time. And he gave it for everybody. And he didn't ask for anything in return except read my lyrics. So I'm not praising him for drinking. What I'm praising him for is for going out there on the edge, because someone's got to do it for us chickens back here.
Any kind of really big superstar who's always in the public eye and who is always sort of on the edge is really living for us all. You know, he's not living for himself anymore. He's living for us all, and we can all vicariously get off on that person, you know. But in the process, he loses his own self.
Well, we're all in the cosmic movie, you know that? That means the day you die, you gotta watch your whole life recurring eternally